Hello and welcome to Learn Microsoft Word, presented by Washington County Free Library Reference. To get started, I wanted to go over some of the features that we would be covering today, from navigation to page orientation, columns, background color, borders, text, bullet points, adding pictures, and finally saving your document. Now, this may seem like a lot, but we're going to make this really fun by making a greeting card. And since Valentine's Day is coming up, we're going to do this with a Valentine's Day card. So to get started, we're going to exit out of our presentation here, and I'm going to show you how to open Word. We're going to go down to our Start menu. And since Word starts with a W, we're just going to scroll all the way down and we're going to find Word in our programs list. Now, once we open that, it's going to take us to the home screen of Word 365. You will see the new options up top. It'll give you blank document, a tour of Word, or any number of templates. Below that, it'll show you files you've had before. You can also go to the left and click New to see even more templates, or Open, and once again it'll show you locations of some of your files. We're going to go back to New and open a blank template. So once you do that, you'll get the basics of Word. To show you around the navigation a little bit, what we have up here, these are our tabs: Home, Insert, Design, Layout, References, Mailings, Review, View, and Help. Under each of the tabs, what we'll have are our groups. So under the Home tab, for example, we have Clipboard, Font, Paragraph, Styles, Editing, Voice, and Editor. And then within each of those groups are the tools. So for font tools, like you have your actual fonts, font sizes, bold, italics, underlined, font colors, highlighters, etc. So that's the basic navigation of Word. So now we're going to jump into what we're actually doing. Like I said, we're going to be making a Valentine's card today, and that's going to feature a lot of the basic functions of Word. So to get started, I'm going to go to the Layout tab, and most cards aren't this long portrait, so I'm going to change it to Landscape. And as you see, that turned my page on its side. And next, usually cards aren't an entire page from side to side. So I'm going to go to Columns. And as you can see up top here from our ruler, it's complete from side to side. So now I'm going to click 2. And as you can see, now we have this little gap in the middle. So we will have 2 columns, one here and one here. And we'll come back to that later, because you'll actually see once we start inputting text how that will affect our document. So now we're actually going to start playing with the color. We're going to go to Design. We're going to go to Page Background, the Page Background group. And we're going to change the background color. So since this is a Valentine's card, and you can see as you scroll over the colors, you can preview what those colors look like a little bit. I don't quite like any of these for a Valentine's Day card, so I'm going to go to More Colors. And I want to do a light pink, just like that. And I also want to add a border to my card. So I'm going to go back to the page background and do page borders. And this will open a dialog box. And I'm going to do box. You can see the styles here. And I'm going to scroll down, look for something kind of fun. I'm going to do these two squiggly lines. And you can change the color on this as well, and I'm going to do yellow, a nice bright yellow. And it'll give you a little bit of a preview over here. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK. And once I hit OK, you'll see how that shows up on the document. So now I have a basic background for my card, pink with a yellow border. So next we can start entering some text. So I'm going to go back to home. So since this is a Valentine's Day card, I'm just going to put Happy Valentine's Day. I'm going to hit enter to space down, and I'm going to add 2021. Now, that's really boring. We want this card to be a little more exciting than that. So our first step is going to be making that font a little more exciting. Now, I'm going to make it bigger first because that's really tiny for that page. So I'm highlighting my text, and I'm going to go over here to font size. I'm going to bring down that drop-down menu, and just like the color for the background color, as you go over these numbers, it's going to give you a preview of what it looks like on your document. So I'm going to go down. I think I'm going to choose this one. So I've chosen that, and it looks a little funky, doesn't it? So I think I want to try to center that. So I'm going to highlight this again. And under the paragraph group, this is where we can change the alignment of our text. So right now it's set on align left. So I'm going to change it to align center. So once I click that, as you can see, because we are in our left column up here on the ruler, it aligned in the center of the left column. So now it looks a little bit better, but it's still pretty boring. The text is black. It's just plain old Calibri. So I want to make it a little more fun. So I'm going to change the size of this a little bit more because I want it to be bigger than that 2021. So another way you can change size too are with these two buttons. You can increase font size or decrease font size. So I'm going to increase it again, and I like that more. So now I want to change the actual font, make it something more fun. So we're going to go over to the fonts here, and when you bring this drop down menu down, you might be a little overwhelmed. There's so much here. And as you scroll over these, I have to highlight my words first. There we go. As you scroll over these, once again, you will get a preview of what they'll look like. I think for this, I am going to go with Blackadder ITC. That's very Valentine's-y. It's very pretty. It's still legible, so I like that. And I'll change the 2021 too. I'm going to go with Bell MT for that. And finally, to make this even more interesting, you can change the color of the font as well. That's right here. Again, pull down that menu with the little caret. Preview the colors. I'm going to go to more colors. And I'm going to choose that dark pink right there. I think that looks pretty nice. And I'll make this one purple. So now we have some text. Another popular thing that people often use with Word are bullet points as well. So I'm going to change my font to 20. And my color, let's go with a pretty dark blue. Let's add some more text to this document. So since this is a Valentine's Day card, I'm going to add reasons I love you. All right, when I space down, I'm going to, bullet points are under the paragraph group. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and my first bullet point appears. So I'll go ahead and start typing this in. So you give the best hugs. You eat anything I cook. And your smile brightens my day. All right. So because bullet points are turned on, whenever you hit that enter button, you get a bullet point. So I've hit another one, but I don't really want more, so I'm going to backspace, and I'm going to turn my bullet points off by clicking that again. So now I don't get any more bullet points. But oops, I did it up on this one, so I want to actually come back up and turn that back on. Space again, enter again, and turn it off down there. Another function we have in Word too is line spacing. So if I want to use up more space in this document, I can come right up here to line and paragraph spacing, pull this down, and again it'll give you the preview. So I'm going to put it about, I think 2 might be too much, so I'm going to do 1.5. I think that looks pretty good. All right, and I'm going to change the font on this too. Make it a little nicer to look at, and I'm going to do ink free. That looks pretty good. All right. So that's about it for fonts. So now let's move on to pictures. I'm going to go to the second side of the card. As you can see, once I entered down, it took me to that second column on the right. So to insert pictures into a Word document, we're going to go to the Insert tab up at the top right, or top left, sorry. So once you go to the Insert tab, you're going to go to Pictures. That's going to bring a drop-down menu. And we're going to insert pictures from this device. And that's going to open a dialog box for your files from your computer. I'm going to go to my downloads. And I'm going to choose this picture right here, because my Valentine is my dog. So once we've inserted the picture, there's so much that you can do with it. First, I'm actually going to crop the picture. Once you put a picture in, it's automatically going to take you to the Picture Format tab, which isn't automatically there until you put a picture in. So you won't see this tab unless you actually have a picture in your document. So from this tab, you'll have things like Adjust to play with the color and the brightness of the picture, things like that. You also have picture styles, so if you want to add like really fun borders or things like that to your picture, you can do that, and we'll get back to that later. Arrange and size. So we're actually going to go to the size group, and we're going to do crop. So we're going to click that, and as you can see, that added some little corners to our picture. I'm going to click on those and drag them. I'm going to drag that down. Drag this to the side. And drag that up a little bit. Okay, so once I have that arranged where I want it, I'm going to come back up to the crop button and I'm going to click it again. So now the picture is exactly how I want it. And pay attention to your ruler too, because that shows you where your columns are. The other important tool for pictures is the layout options tool. Currently, it is set for inline with text, and we're going to keep that there. The other option, the one that I use most often with Word, is square. I'll show you real quick what that's going to look like. So once I click that, you can actually very freely move your picture around. I'm going to turn that off again and show you the difference. So once I click that, it's going to go right back. It's centered because of our center alignment that we have turned on, which is exactly what I want. So I'm just going to leave that as is. So our cursor will also follow the picture, which is great. So I can hit enter. Voila, the cursor is now under it. And so back to picture format. So we can do fun borders or we can do a basic border. Like I said, if you want to do something like that, it's going to mess with your picture a little bit. You can do something like that. I am going to Control Z, which is undo, to go back to what we had. You can, back to picture format. Picture borders if you want to make your own border. And I'm going to do another yellow border on this. So yellow, and the weight to make it bigger. And I'm going to do a 3-point border. Oh, I hit 4.5. All right, so that's really pretty. And then down here, just going to add love so that you can sign the card when it's done. Gonna change this to ink free again. And I'm also going to change the alignment on this. I'm going to align this to the right. And just like that, our card is done. If you guys have any questions, always feel free to reach out. You can email us at ref@washcolibrary.org or feel free to call me at my extension 324. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I hope you learned a lot. Bye!